A 13-year-old girl's school magazine byline just did something no marketing team could have planned on purpose. Rabbit News Hallyu has been watching two Tian Xiwei stories break separately this month, and read side by side. They explain something about her public image that neither one explains on its own. Start with the color. Tian Xiwei's pale pink look on the variety show Busy Treasure Hunt set off another wave of commentary about how completely pink suits her. Netizens threw around numbers like 1014% compatibility, obviously not a literal figure, but it tells you how confident people feel making that claim. This isn't a new observation, either. It's a repeated one. Pink princess dresses with bows. Pink tulle. A pink bunny costume where she's somehow holding a prop gun and still reading as soft rather than tough. Fashion commentary has echoed the same idea, pointing to her private styling choices, pink cardigans in a peach tone palette, as further evidence that this isn't a one-off styling accident but a consistent lane. On its own, that's a pleasant, low-stakes fashion story. The kind that trends for a day and gets forgotten by the next news cycle. Then her brother found 3 old magazine clippings. While sorting through old books, Tian Xiwei's brother came across her middle school literary magazine, 3 essays she published at 13 years old as a campus literary reporter. A door left ajar. Grandfather's nagging. Worry. He photographed the pages and shared them, and the story moved fast, because the writing holds up. One essay used a mother deliberately leaving a door open and a light dimmed low as a quiet stand-in for maternal care. Another traced how a kid's irritation at a grandfather's nagging slowly turned into understanding. A third ran 2 threads in parallel, a boy rushing to see his grandfather, an old woman worrying about a son far from home, to say something about family without stating it outright. Her teacher's comments, visible in the same clippings, praised the fresh language and the way she used small physical details to carry real emotional weight. Here's the detail most people are skipping past: none of this was written for an audience that knew who she'd become. There was no career yet. No image to manage. Just a kid who happened to notice how people show they care and happened to be good at writing it down. That's where the 2 stories start talking to each other. Tian Xiwei currently plays a character who dreams of becoming a writer. When the essay surfaced, that connection was the first thing viewers made. The reaction wasn't just she was a good writer as a kid, it was closer to of course she was, look at the role she's playing right now. Comments started calling it proof she was born to play this part. That's a specific kind of resonance, and it's worth sitting with, because it's not something a publicist writes into existence. Nobody scheduled a sibling to clean out a bookshelf during promotion for a drama about a girl who writes. Nobody planned for a decade-old school magazine to resurface at exactly this moment. But here's the detail that actually explains why this spread the way it did, and it's not the essays themselves. It's who found them, and how. Not an agency account. Not a curated fan edit. A brother, cleaning out old books, posting something he stumbled onto. There's no styling in that moment, no lighting, no caption written by a social media team. What audiences responded to wasn't polish, it was the absence of it. It's evidence that predates her career entirely, evidence she had no reason to fabricate because at 13 there was nothing to build toward yet. In an entertainment ecosystem this saturated with managed content, an artifact that clearly wasn't managed carries disproportionate weight. That's not really a story about Tian Xiwei specifically. It's a story about what still moves an audience when almost everything else in celebrity media feels curated. So you end up with 2 different kinds of evidence doing 2 different kinds of work. The pink aesthetic is chosen, current, and repeatable, the kind of visual signature a stylist can lean on for years, and the kind of thing a management company can amplify comfortably because it carries almost no risk. The old essays are found, historical, and unrepeatable. They can't be manufactured twice, which is exactly what makes them valuable. One builds recognition. The other builds trust. Together, they're doing something a single press cycle rarely pulls off on its own, making the surface and the substance point in the same direction, so that she suits pink and she was always going to end up playing a writer start to feel like facts about the same coherent person, rather than 2 unrelated headlines. That alignment matters beyond this one actor, because it points to something structural in how personal branding works in C-ent right now. Management companies can engineer the visual half fairly easily: a photogenic color palette, consistent styling, a recognizable aesthetic lane. That's standard talent management, and it's exactly what the pink coverage represents. What's much harder to engineer is the second half, the sense that an actor's current role connects to something real about who they were before anyone was watching. When that alignment shows up on its own, through something as ordinary as a sibling reorganizing a bookshelf, it does more for an actor's credibility than a dozen scheduled interviews could, because audiences can tell the difference between a story a team built and a story that simply happened to be true. There's an artist psychology angle worth pulling out here as well. Actors who get strongly associated with one aesthetic, one color, one type of role, one vibe, often face a quiet tension underneath the praise. The tighter the association, the easier it is to get typecast inside it. A performer who becomes the pink one risks being read as decorative rather than skilled, no matter how much range she actually has. That's presumably why the essay story landed as a relief as much as a delight for a lot of viewers. It doesn't compete with the pink narrative, but it does complicate it in a useful way, adding a layer of depth, evidence of observation, patience, and craft underneath what could otherwise be read as a purely visual brand. Whether this was ever a deliberate concern for her or her team isn't something the available reporting can confirm, but the pattern itself, a soft aesthetic getting reinforced by a substance story right as it risked feeling one-dimensional, is a familiar shape in how actors' public images tend to evolve over time. There's a fan culture layer worth naming here too. International fandoms in particular tend to treat evidence of authenticity as a different currency than styling wins. A pink dress gets admiration, but a 13-year-old's handwriting about her grandfather gets people saying they feel like they understand her differently now. That shift, from admiring an image to feeling like you've glimpsed something real underneath it, is a large part of what turns casual viewers into long-term, invested fans. It's also part of why this kind of story travels well across language barriers even when the original essays are in Chinese. The emotional shape of the story, a sibling finding proof of who someone always was, doesn't need translation to land. There's also a quieter industry lesson about how little control talent and their teams actually have over which parts of their history become public. A middle school literary magazine, printed in limited numbers over a decade ago, sitting in a family bookshelf, that's about as far outside any agency's messaging plan as a document can get. It surfaced anyway, at a moment when it happened to reinforce, rather than complicate, her current public narrative. No strategist can plan for that. It's closer to luck, and it's a reminder that in an industry obsessed with narrative control, some of the most effective narrative moments are the ones nobody controlled at all. To be clear, nothing in the reporting suggests the essays were leaked as a calculated move, and it's worth saying plainly, it would be easy to overreach into that reading, and the evidence doesn't support it. The more grounded interpretation is simpler. An actor's genuine adolescent writing happened to resonate with her current role, audiences noticed on their own, and that resonance is now doing real work in how she's perceived, separate from anything her team scheduled this month. What's left is a small but useful window into how public image actually gets built in this industry, not always through campaigns, but sometimes through the accidental collision of a chosen aesthetic and an unchosen history. Tian Xiwei didn't ask her brother to find those essays. She didn't ask netizens to decide, over and over, that pink is her color. But both things happened, and together they're shaping how audiences read her, as someone whose current image and whose actual past line up, which in an industry built on manufactured alignment is rarer than it sounds. If you're into entertainment stories that go past the headline, the kind that look at why something is spreading, not just that it is, that's what Rabbit News Hallyu is built for. Subscribe if you want analysis, not just news.